Go.
Hello, my name is Deborah Schwab, and I am one of the artists here at the Annapolis Pearl Gallery. We're located at 32 West Street in Annapolis, Maryland. We're a co-op gallery of 13 local artists, so we hope you come by to see us someday. I'm one of the painters here in the gallery. I work both in acrylics and in oils and on different media, both canvas, panels, paper, try different things. What I was going to talk to you about today was where we get inspiration for our pieces. It's very easy to sit in your studio and not come up with what the next thing is you want to paint. What I've always done is find inspiration from travels. They don't have to be far-flung and exotic, just a way to get you to look at the world in a different way than your day-to-day activities. So since I mostly am a figurative painter and I like working in the natural world, that's pretty much what you'll see in my work behind me. Occasionally I'll slide a building or something in if I feel the painting needs it for the structure. As an example of travel as inspiration, this past winter I was lucky enough to go to Cocoa Beach for a while, and while I was there I was very inspired by, for some reason this winter, it was the birds on the beach that really got me. So this was one of the paintings I did. I call it Sunrise Skimmers. It's that early morning light with the birds, you know, going through the waves and looking for their morning meal. Anyhow, I loved that light and I loved all the birds. Now there's no way you can sit on the beach and catch that because they're moving too much and the light is changing too much. So I do use photos even though I'm there on site. And this is probably though a result of 10 or 20 different photos, and I picked and chose which birds to put in for the composition that I liked. And that was followed by Sunrise Sable, which is again that early morning, almost garish light that you get in Florida, and was really fun to try to deal with the backlit palm and that sort of thing. And then when I got home, I was still on birds. I have sold my shorebirds, but I had several shorebirds because I had really loved with them. I do still have my dune painting left. And in the gloom of February, it was fun to kind of keep that beach feeling going. But as I was saying before, I don't think you have to go very far away. Here in Maryland, we have a lot of beautiful places close by. This piece that I call Marsh Hibiscus was inspired by a hike at Jug Bay Wetlands. And it was in the summer when all the marsh hibiscus were blooming and the sun hitting the marsh hibiscus across the swamp, I thought was just something beautiful. And when you walk on the boardwalk, you can get one of these almost right in your face. So that was what I was really trying to show in a piece like that, and as opposed to a more subtle piece that I've done for like Rhode Island, and then kind of a fun one, because we don't normally think of roads as inspiration for our paintings. But this one is if you're driving down the Eastern Shore and going across the Bay Tunnel to go to Virginia, and you're driving on the road, it looks like the road just ends and you're gonna fall into the bay. There is a tunnel there, but you can't tell. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to have that feeling come through in a painting. So this is called Where's the Tunnel? And we also have beautiful water scenes in this area. This is from being anchored on a boat just off of Hooper Island. Okay, this is kind of down bay on the Eastern Shore side. And there are many places where you have these very narrow strips of land with leftover pieces of trees that the wind has, you know, winnowed out to just a few. And that was a very kind of different look than we have here in Annapolis. So that's where you can, you know, find local inspiration. We have a piece from Tangier Island, which was on the same trip when I went to off of Hooper's Island. This is a different style, but it's that view across the marshes. They go on forever and ever and ever. And there's a faint little piece of land in the background. And, you know, you see these scenes all over places like Tangier and Smith Island. So if you do go farther afield, this is a piece from my sister's view from her living room in Colorado. Now, this isn't something I might generally show at the gallery. People in Annapolis aren't too interested in paintings of the Rocky Mountains, but it was a wonderful change of scenery and a different way of looking at the world. And I think a lot of people who paint and draw and do photography find that you can lose inspiration in what you see day to day. And if you've been away and come back, having been away makes you start looking at your own local areas, maybe in a new way than you had before. So I hope that you found this interesting and that you come to join us here at Annapolis Pearl Gallery someday.